Hi, I'm Megan, and welcome to the Intermish, the show where it's literally the length of an NHL intermission where we discuss the NHL teams, memes, trades, picks, and honestly, it was such a classic Quinn moment.
And that save he made in overtime, classic me playing a 2-on-1 like shit, but I can't say enough about Thatch.
Yeah, so this is I'm having to refilm this because my memory card literally exploded. So I'm literally filming this, editing this all on Sunday, and I'm sorry. So sorry. But let's get into some things real quick. This is a 19-year-old Russian who is going to be okay. I'm really happy that, John Tortorella was obviously Tortorella, whatever, Torts, whatever. He clearly... he wasn't a fit, to be honest with you, for Philadelphia because the random, lineup scratches and everything, it was weird. I feel like he also had a little bit of a vendetta against certain players. It came across really, unprofessional at times. And, to say that, I don't know. We'll get into that later when we air the grievances. One of my friend actually pointed out a lot of good things. And also today we are airing grievances. I put a Google form link out and I was like, what has your team done to you recently? Air your grievances. So we're going to get into that. But, I really thought he was just the albatross that was holding back the Flyers. But I think they're going to be all right. And then these two have been each other's biggest op since George W. Bush, and I think this is beautiful. I really do. I think this is beautiful. I also want to hold your hand when I tell you this, but after watching the Senators play against Detroit, they aren't good, guys. They're literally just assholes who have Claude Giroux and Linus Ullmark. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's literally just a bunch of guys who somewhat have hockey skills and are kind of okay, but they're just dirty as shit. I don't know what to tell you. And also, yikes. But then again, knowing me, I'd be like, can we score more? I would have at least gone to double digits. I would have tried to go to double digits and be like, stay down. But, that's just me. Also, someone mentioned recently that they're enjoying the Red Wings' downfall. And from where? Tell me from where. Because last time we checked on your team. Oh, wait. Anyway, with it basically being near playoffs, it's classic East region that's always no, you go, no, you go, no, you go. I feel like it's a back and forth constantly of who doesn't want to go to the playoffs. They all obviously want to make the playoffs, but they all clearly can't. They're trying, but also at the same time it's just a failure. It's so funny to watch. And then I also want to point out, does anyone else have to listen to the net? When I have started to dread national broadcast games like ESPN or TNT, where they just clearly have a very biased view of who should be playing, of who should be winning. They will absolutely tell you beforehand who they're rooting for, obviously, and then the whole game you just have to hear how much better, despite even if that team is losing. And it's not just because of the Red Wings. I've listened to several media broadcasts and it's they really will let you know who they want to win. And it's becoming almost unwatchable. And I really think that we should have more local broadcast games. Honestly, on ESPN and stuff. If it's a national broadcasting thing, I get that they're qualified and they're good and all that, but I'm just kind of tired of it and kind of want to hear more Ken and Mick in my life and less of people who really don't give a shit about my team. And I feel like that could be said the same for a lot of other people about their team. Also, with the playoffs coming up, also, I just want to mention does anyone else notice the refereeing has the reffing this year has been unbearable to watch? It's gotten worse. There are just some how do you not make this call? How do you not call that? Also, how do you not like? How is this not a major? Like, I really want to know how they've allowed so many things to like happen, like so many dirty ass hits or so many plays where it's just been like, are we not going to call that? Are we just phoning it in today? Like, it's insane to me. It is insane to me. But like, it's just, it's whatever. It's whatever. I really don't care. I care, but so at the same time, it's like, nah. And then also, in news, the Seattle Kraken and the San Jose Sharks are the first teams eliminated from playoff contention. And I want to be honest with you, let's give a little performance review to the San Jose Sharks. I did not prepare one for the Kraken because, well, they just got eliminated like last night. So basically, the San Jose Sharks, from what I've gathered this year, they are their name. They are Sharks. You don't think you're going to see them, like, perform as well as they can. And you think, oh, this is an easy dub. This is like San Jose. They're last in the league. Wrong. Like, they come out of nowhere like a shark and they take chunks out of you during a game. And it's like, constantly you're like, holy shit, we are losing to the San Jose Sharks, and everyone doesn't see them coming, and it's like any given day, any given team. They are, however, 30th out of 32 for goals for and 31st out of 32 for goals against. So I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a saying probably in San Jose, which is thank God for Buffalo, but we'll get to them eventually. The entire team average is 25. So like I said, they're an extremely young team with a lot of talent. They're just young and new, and they're trying to get the experience that they can. They are actually good. Like, they are an actual good team. They just have some pitfalls that tend to like trip them up consistently and constantly. But at least, like, they look like they are having fun as a team. In all honesty, I've never seen a team that, like, looks like they're losing, that looks like they're having fun as much as the Sharks do. The one thing that I do think they honestly need, they do have a solid offensive presence, but they can't keep depending on the same, like, four people. I think they need, like, their defense, they need more scoring defenders, in my opinion. Because that can help. That can make or break a team, whether or not you have like a good defensive line that can also produce goals. On top of that, I think they need to get better at the redefend, the forecheck, and keeping their goalie like protected. Because you can blame a lot of things on the goalie, and yes, in the end of the day, it is the goalie who makes the stops, but also the defense in front of them has to be the ones to help them out as well. And this is my performance review of the San Jose Sharks. And now, some grievances. So like a couple of days ago, I put out like a Google form link, and I said, do you have any grievances with your team? Here at the Intermish, we will fight for you to be heard. We will get you, we cannot guarantee results, but what we can do is let it be known your issue. Alright, so here are some grievances. First complaint, I know who this is from, but still, these will remain anonymous. The team with the first complaint in is the Flyers. The complaint is for 99% of Flyers fans. The position also is the head coach. The grievance and problem is, I hate John Tortorella. He makes lineups decisions that never makes any sense, has terrible communication with the players, and he has certain biases against players that confuses me. It always seems like he's choosing conflicts. Plus, his recent comments about Carter Hart made me immediately be out on him. The solution to this was firing him at the end of the season. Well, I really want to say that your FBI agent may be gritty and saw this and said, let's make it happen. But also, if you didn't know, John Tortorella basically was like, yeah, I would rather have Carter Hart, who is currently under investigation for sexual assault. I don't know if he was found guilty yet or if they were found guilty yet whatsoever. He said he would rather have him be their goaltender than be in the current position the team is in. And that to me is kind of like insane. Like, but like that, why would you say that? That's just, your mental gymnastics there didn't really land. It actually just broke its leg and dislocated its body. Like, that's so stupid and just terrible to say. Ew. But like I'm pretty sure your FBI agent may be gritty because they clearly heard you there. The next one is for the New York Rangers. The complaint is for everyone. The position that they mainly want to direct this to is the owner. Grievance, problem, everything. The solution, start from scratch. Yeah, this is actually valid because the Rangers aren't in the position that they were last year, and it's kind of been a big letdown, I think, for Rangers fans, which is insane to me. Like, how they have gone from where they are to, like, where they are now, which is, where are they right now? Does anyone know where the Rangers are? Let's look. They just got that second wild card spot, where the Red Wings are literally like 3 points away, which is possible at any point in time. Because, you know, any given day, any given team, you never know. But the fact that like Rangers fans are so accustomed to already having that playoff spot and they're just barely fighting for a wild card is kind of insane to me. Yeah, so just I guess start over. This is for the Boston Bruins. Shout out to my friends who are Bruins fans. Shout out Primetime Productions. Shout out those guys. Okay, this complaint is for them, and their complaint is directed towards the GM, Don Sweeney, and Cam Neely. And the grievance problem is, I'll put it on the screen. These clowns have exceeded their expiration date. Despite consecutive playoff appearances for the Boston Bruins, this season has been fatally embarrassing for the Bees. The decision to terminate head coach Jim Montgomery in November is entirely a scapegoat for the front office to use for their roster they constructed. Trading away Captain Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers at the deadline for an exceedingly low return is terrible behavior. The Bruins are going to be successful again, not this year, but they're going to come back to true form. It's time for the front office to be overhauled, since they already overhauled 2 head coaches in the last 3 seasons, as well as traded away multiple key players, including a loyal and beloved captain. The franchise has been altered by Don and Cam, and if we are going to embrace a retool, it should start with new faces in the GM and president of hockey operation roles. And their solution is to bring Donald Sweeney and Cameron Neely to justice, to which I say, yeah, I'm for it. I believe it. Which, yeah, like Marchand's trade still makes 0 sense to me whatsoever. And for what? And then like Coyle and Carlo, like that's insane, actual insane. They traded away like a bunch of good players for hopes, promises, and nothing. And in return, they basically sold half of their team for parts, and none of those parts are working right now. And then finally, this is directed for the Toronto Maple Leafs, for the players. The complaint is, why are we so cursed and the core never performs well in the postseason? Their grievance problem that they have is that the core never performs and being cursed. Their solution, probably paying an Etsy witch to give us some much needed luck and hoping for the best. I agree. And now my complaint is for the fans of the Detroit Red Wings, of which this is my team. You people are really soft. Like, oh my God. Like, you people, like, there are people in this world that I'm convinced have never played a competitive sport that will watch sports and just, like, give up within, like, a 2-game lose streak, or they'll give up, like, so quickly. Like, if you, like, it's like the Lions. It's like if you weren't rocking with us when we were 0-16 and like after every loss, like it's the same old Lions to you, you've clearly lost the plot in life. One loss does not, equal it's the end of the world. Are we going to like make the playoffs? It's not over.